This is going to be extra chaotic today because I don't have my meds. I do have caffeine, which is good. But yeah, I want to just talk about what the fuck this building is doing because it's fascinating. So as you can see with the Forgotten Temple, it's in a state of disrepair and decay and pretty much what you would expect from a building that is thousands of years old. All this is in Skyward Sword, probably the first game in the entire franchise. But then why this room is new, completely new. All of this is new. And you can see that the building, everything about this is just completely immaculate. It's basically untouched by time. And there's also these statues here that are similar to the ones that we see at the beginning of the game. Yeah. But yeah, the cutscene with the sages, you don't see the kind of statue at all. So, does it leave footprints? Oh my god, it does! Wait, that's so cool. Oh, I love it. What a cool little detail. But yeah, I believe that is the case that the Zonai are older than the events of Skyward Sword. And so the Demon King talked about at the beginning of that game is the same Demon King that we saw in the past here. That is my honest theory, and I know it's just a theory, but God, it'd be so cool. Like, I want the YouTube theory people to like actually talk about this game. This kind of statue does not exist in that cutscene, even though it's the same position here. So there's a few things that come to mind. One is that this room was just here for millennia, and I mean millennia, like capital M millennia. Like, the second is that this was a part of a different building, because you see the difference in architecture, the difference in stonework, and just also the state of both of these buildings. And this might have just been something that was around and it sunk to the bottom, but also this door has been open for ages, which is the really weird part to it. Like, and this was, I mean, I only had gotten one of the sages by the time this door was open, which is just insane. So, I'm trying to think that whether I got the first dragon tier before coming here? No, I came here first because I was curious, and then I got the dragon. Then I found out what the hell was going on, so I got dragon tiers. But yeah, this door has just been open for the entirety of ever since we saw it in the cutscene, which is probably like tens of thousands of years ago. Oh man, it's bonkers. So I think that's the case that this room, well, my thoughts are that that room was built first and preserved to time. And the sealed temple, the forgotten temple, like all of the stuff in Skyward Sword was built around that. The goddess statue was built around that too. But the weird part about it too is that there is no Master Sword. That's the other big thing that I think is important to acknowledge, because the Master Sword was not around back then. They simply had no knowledge of it whatsoever. Which means it also kind of lends itself to the idea that it took place before Skyward Sword, would you actually construct the Master Sword? Like, that's the whole point of the game. And so, it's into time travel stuff too, which is just so... I'm not gonna walk around here. I can talk about it, walk and talk basically, but... Yeah, it gets into weird time travel stuff too, because then you have the Master Sword in the past for like 10,000 years with the Light Dragon. throughout the entirety of the rest of the games too, which is just bizarre. I mean, this also could be another whole timeline entirely. Who the hell knows? But oh yeah, I wanted to check out whether or not the Raru settlement ruins are still around there too. Yeah, I feel like they went into the game thinking about. So my thoughts are, I think the development of both of these games was very non-linear in this traditional sense of you build one game with one idea in mind and then you build the next one, because obviously there are ideas that cross over between the two, with the Zonai stuff and with so many ruins and stuff like that that still just don't get explained. Like I think with the linear promenade and stuff like that in this Forgotten Temple too. There's so much. I mean, there's genuinely, and I have kind of done a 180 on what I think. I think there is enough room and content for a third entry in this whole world here. Probably with Demise. Like, actually Demise.